So we're going to talk about personalizing your customer journey today, which we talked about kind of all the different technology and all of that great stuff. You've seen everything from AI to really great automations, and I'm here to put you to work. So you all have a worksheet, right? Does everyone have their worksheet? Because we're actually going to do some work. Because I'm sure all of you are thinking right now, wow, I saw a lot of cool stuff today, but what am I going to do when I go back to the office with what I learned? So we're going to do a little bit of a worksheet together. We're going to work together on some things, and we're going to kind of talk about implementation. We're going to talk about this kind of at a high level, but really kind of work through in the next 15 minutes or so. So what I'm going to talk about today is what is marketing automation to your company? How do you use it today? We're going to learn from each other. What's typical campaign automation examples? How you can build automation minutes using some different technology. Now what? What are we going to do? And then we're going to talk about how you can prepare for text messaging. So text messaging is really coming quick and fierce, and I'm seeing a lot of different trends on how you need to prep for it. So really, what we're going to start out with is really what is marketing automation. So if you're not doing it today and you're like, what are you even talking about, small woman up front? What marketing automation is today is it's the use of software to carry out marketing tasks automatically. So it can help marketing teams manage campaigns and customer data, improve customer experiences. And marketing automation has really expanded to multiple teams, as we saw in Melanie's presentation. It's expanded to sales teams, it's expanded to customer service teams, and automation is really becoming more and more fast and furious. And AI is getting even applied to automations where it's making the decision of what to send and how to communicate with those people. So it's only going to expand in the coming future. So with your worksheet, we're going to take a quick few minutes and do some homework. I'm going to time us for 3 minutes, and there's a couple questions that we want to answer. What is marketing automation to your company today? Are you doing it? What is it? How do you use it today? What kind of results are you seeing? Why are you doing it? If you aren't doing it, or if you are, what's one marketing or communication process you wish you could automate today that you aren't doing today? So we just want to take just 3 minutes, really briefly, and we can talk amongst ourselves to kind of think about that. You've seen a lot of different examples today. But let's just take 3 minutes, and then I'm going to pick one person to answer the question and share. So we're going to hit the timer with Leanne. Number one, you were so much better at doing homework than my 9-year-old, because let me tell you, that has been a fight all week. If you have children, you know what I'm talking about. So thank you for doing your homework. Can I get a volunteer to share how they're using marketing automation today? Anyone willing? My good friend, Ryan O'Toole. He's not a plant, but here he is.
If
you want to, you can. Right. Yeah, we can share the mic. Mr. Ryan O'Toole from Hunsinger Construction.
I don't have an answer.
Yeah, you want.
No. All right, so Ryan O'Toole from Hunsinger Construction. We started our CRM journey here, 6 years ago. But we've recently, only in the last 2 years, really gotten into this, and it's the automated campaign. And so for us, being a general contractor that serves multiple markets, when you have 2,000 plus contacts in your CRM, and you're just gonna flood, you can't flood everybody with every update and every campaign and every little thing that you have to give them. We had the folks at TopLine build a custom tool, automation tool, if you will, to be able to go into the individual contacts within an account and then have a drop-down menu to click, would this person be interested in healthcare, K-12, industrial, commercial interiors, general. And so then we can click multiple per person if we want, or if that person is in, let's say, works for an architectural firm and is solely in their K-12 studio, we will click K-12. So that person is not getting machine foundation automations that we're doing for down and dirty industrial clients. And then that person then would likely unsubscribe. So we are now tracking our success rates of the campaigns, click rates, how are they clicking, what are they clicking, are they driving traffic to the website, and then we then have follow-ups for that, for us on the sales team to reach out to them and schedule a meeting, provide more information, ask if they maybe have a need that they don't know about yet. So that's what we are doing now, and we're I'd say more than getting our feet wet with it. I think we could do better, but we have a great team behind us, and they're very understanding when we haven't totally completed our homework every time.
You know, so you're a little scared.
I'm like, oh God, Jackie, I know I had 7 things to do. I only did 4 of them. Usually is the theme of the meeting, but I fall on the sword first, so yeah, so.
Thank you, Lauren. I owe you. We're going to talk about ways that you can make sure in my next slide. So, I'm going to go through a campaign automation example with you. This one's a follow-up from a referral form submission. Some of the things when you're doing automation are some of the questions you ask. How do I make sure sales follows up? Who's making the content? What steps are we going to have? Who are we sending this to? When are they coming up? So automation looks really simple, right? You're like, wow, this will take 5 minutes. But there's a lot of decisions that go into it to make sure that your customer has a good experience, your sales team has a good experience, your marketing team has a good experience. There's a lot of different decisions that happen. These are some of the questions that we start out with. But what I really recommend, and I gave you a piece of my secret sauce on the back of your sheet, is putting together a process map. And this can be done in Visio, this can be done in Microsoft Word, it can be done in PowerPoint, whatever you want to do it in, it can be done in any of those programs. But what it's really answering is who, what, and when are we doing this? And those are some of the main questions you need to answer when you're doing automation. So the top part is our target market, our segment, our definition. That's who we're going to send it to. So who's going to be involved in this automation? The question you need to ask yourself isn't how they just get on it, so who's going to get our communications, but how do they get off it? For example, if we have a lead automation, if they open an opportunity and they convert, do we still want them to get our lead emails? Most likely no. So we need to figure out not just how they get on, but how they get off that automation. So the who you want to answer right away. Then you have the what. That is that question. All those different pieces of collateral. What do we have to have made before we can even start this automation? What web forms do we need? What email templates do we need? Do we need data sheets for the sales team? What do we have to have all created before we can actually start automating? Then the part that we've really talked a lot about today is when and how. When are we sending it? How are we doing it? So there's a lot of steps you need to really decide on. And if there's one thing you learned today is really going back and some of these ideas you had for your marketing campaigns, try putting together a map and then start to ask yourself those questions. You'll usually find some different holes or some different areas of opportunity with that. So what I'm going to show next is some software. The software I'm going to show is Click. So Annie is in the house right there. She is from Click, so if you have questions about Click, that's the lady you want to go talk to, or me. Click has been around since I started 15 years ago. They are the main software marketing solution for Microsoft Dynamics. It's installed directly inside of the software, and I'm actually going to be doing a live demo today of that software. Click Dimensions is an installed app directly inside of Dynamics 365. And it is a marketing automation tool. So you can see here the Click Dimensions app. We're going to go ahead and access that app. And now we have access to quite a few different tools within Click Dimensions. We can send emails, we can send text messages, we can connect our social, we can even integrate different web forms, send out surveys or landing pages. But what I want to touch on that we discussed earlier is how can you go ahead and do automation with click dimensions. When we click on messaging, we do have the functionality of a campaign automation. And from here, we can go ahead and create a new campaign automation. And we're going to just call this training event automation. And we're going to go ahead and click on save. And from here, we're going to go ahead and open the builder, and we can actually select a template to create this automation in mere minutes. So from here, if we want to do an event automation and do event invitation, we can select the event invitation template and click on select. And this is going to actually pre-populate all the steps that you need for this automation, again, in basically 10 seconds. So now all you have to do is basically fill in what list you want to invite to this event, and then what email triggers we want to be able to give. So what kind of invitations we're going to send. We already have our wait timer set up. We already have the ability to see a really specific automation. And then we can see, we check if you registered for that event. And then if you did, we go ahead and send out that thank you email, notify our team that you registered. If you didn't register for that event, we go ahead and send out an email saying maybe next time and giving you some information on our company. So really simple to build these automations. It's a drag and drop editor. You also, if you want to make really specific or custom automations, you can do that as well. You have a multitude of triggers available, from email interaction, forms, a website page visited, a specific manual add of a contact record, can all add to an automation. And then from there, you can send out emails. You can add them to lists. We can notify users. We can create task activities, send text messaging, update lead scoring, and so forth. You also have options for wait timers, so you can make it a length of time versus a specific date. So creating automation can be very quick, easy to replicate, and easy to use. Let's go back and take a look at some other options. So lots of different options for you to build out automation, a lot of different tools available to you today. Besides that, we also have to come back into how you can align sales and marketing. So Melanie talked a lot about the customer journey, and Dan talked a lot about data, predictive lead scoring. It all comes back to aligning sales and marketing with your automations. So when we fill out those forms, having automations that automatically deliver that back to the salesperson, providing a view on the contact of different digital interactions, doing lead scoring. You can do that with AI now. You could also build your own lead score model. Something to kind of think about when you go back to office is, how would you build your score? What does sales need to know based on that score? So currently, one of the main trends that I've been reading a lot about is Gartner says 80% of B2B sales interactions between suppliers and buyers will occur in digital channels. So that's really in that awareness stage and that consideration stage that Melanie talked about today. So we really want to be able to talk about that and really make sure that we're prepared for that with being able to automate and use that digital information. A tool that we created this past year is called Symphony Sync. It integrates HubSpot with Dynamics CRM. This is an example where you can deliver those leads directly from HubSpot into CRM. You also have to deliver those leads directly from Constant Contact into CRM using Symphony Sync. Besides that, you also can get different analytics. So any tool you use, whether it's HubSpot, Click, Zoho, Campaigns, what we really focus on is what are the analytics. So what kind of revenue are you bringing from those different campaigns? So pulling that information out of CRM, being able to report off of that is really important. And then lastly, really talking about text messaging. Is anyone texting clients today? Anyone doing mass texting? Okay, if you have any plans of doing it in the next 3 to 5 years, it's really important to start thinking about these topics. So one, we're all asking, can we send you email when you fill out a form? Are we asking, can we send a text? If we want to text, you may want to consider adding that to your language. The other big thing I'm finding for clients that are trying to start doing text is a lot of business phone numbers are existing in the cell phone number field. So that makes it very interesting when you go to implement. So if you're really thinking about doing this the next couple years, now is the time to really start to prep your database for it and to make some different options for that. You also need to make sure that you stay compliant. So there's different documentation you have to fill out through different tax vendors to be able to show that you are compliant, and that's something that we help a lot of people with. Another thing is that I run into is that we have salespeople that may be one-off texting people, but none of that data is in CRM, so that poses risks as well. So storing text in CRM also is very important. So some things to think about. So our 5 key takeaways is marketing automation saves time and it can make you money. The who, what, and when of marketing automation, being able to map out your process. That marketing automation templates can save time. Delivering leads to sales and sharing marketing data is critical. And you need to prep for text now. If you aren't planning, you're not going to be able to use it in the future. So that's something you really should consider. So those are my top takeaways. And you got homework for me, that's another takeaway. And then I will open it up to any questions.